Morning, guys. It's Corrupted
And it's Dragon.
with Ramen for the Soul.
We back again.
And this is episode 18, I believe. Man, time flies when you're broke.
What the hell?
Yeah, it is 18. Yeah, I was right.
We back at y'all again. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, everything. Let's get to it before we get started.
Yeah. And so this week we're at the start of Marineford.
Pretty much.
So this is where shit gets real.
This is where it's the birth of that boy. This is where that boy come out, that dog.
Now, I think this is more so the death of the camel.
Oh, no, it's definitely that. I'm just speaking on surface terms.
Oh, you just said like that dog inside of Luffy.
That's where we see it. You knew it was there, but now we see it.
Next week is where he unleashes his awaken, conquers hockey. So,
yeah.
Same with Kobe. So,
but he gets to that point. I think this is all the points where he's starting to show that he's not a part of the establishment, and like how everybody losing their stuff over Whitebeard being there and all that, and he's just like, I'm just here to get a show. I don't care about none of the stuff y'all got going on. I'm just here to
I'm just here for my brother.
I just want my brother, man.
Yeah. Another thing that's interesting, the manga doesn't really talk about where everyone goes. They're just pictures, like at the start of each chapter, of what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even in the anime, they don't really say it when they first go, except for a while.
Well, so in this chain of episodes, there's like an episode that shows where everybody is.
Yeah.
But in the manga, it's just
a picture.
Yeah, it's just a picture.
And they just get back to it.
Yeah, and it's immediately back into what's going on.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So we left off with Iva's big ass death wink.
Yeah.
Or was it Galaxy wink?
Galaxy, yeah.
Yeah, with the giant head.
Yeah, we at the point now. I think now we just now getting to the point where they're going to the ship out of Impel Down. That whole saga, that last little skirmish with Magellan, and we get to one of the most noble sacrifices in all of One Piece.
Yeah, we get to what's it called? They land on the ship with Jinbei and the whale sharks.
Mm-hmm. Because
Jinbei can apparently talk to whale sharks. Apparently. It makes sense. He's a whale shark.
He is a whale shark himself,
So it makes sense. And then they're just like, how are we going to get in the gates? We're stuck here. And Magellan's just like, haha, they're stuck here. We'll just get them on the clapback.
Ain't no way they're going to open the gate for no pirates. We're just going to get them on the little rebound. Yeah. Once they try to go, they going to run into the wall. We're just going to get them then.
Yeah, we're just going to get them then. And then the door starts opening.
Little to their surprise.
And they're just like, what the heck's happening here? And you noticed there was somebody not with them when they got on the boat.
And they told you the only person that can open up, who had the authority to open up those gates, was Magellan.
So Bon Clay secretly pretended to be Magellan and said, open the gates for that ship. And the guys in the prison do. And then we get a heartfelt thing with Luffy saying, thanks, Bon Guy. What's he call him? Is it Bon Guy?
Bon Chan.
I think in the English version of the manga, like the official translation, he calls him Bon Guy.
Or just Bon.
It's something like that. I can't remember.
Bon.
And he's just like, I can't believe you saved me. It was my turn to save you. We were supposed to escape together.
Yeah.
You saved me one time, so I don't like owing you. We were supposed to escape together. And Bon's just like, nah, you gotta escape. Go save your brother. That's more important than me getting out. Which is a pretty good moment. And,
I'm trying to tell you.
Well, actually, Bon Clay doesn't even say anything at first. Everyone's
nah.
just like, thank you so much, Brother Bon. You saved us.
Because I don't think he had a way to talk to him at all.
No, he had a snail.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. He stole somebody's snail.
That probably escaped my memory.
And Jinbei was not supposed to tell Luffy so that Luffy couldn't call Bon Clay and talk
stop
to him.
Yeah.
But
he would have. He definitely would have.
Yeah, Luffy wouldn't have let him escape.
He wouldn't have left without him.
Yeah. Which is one thing about what's his name's character that I like, Jinbei, is he's like, I'm gonna do a job even if I don't like it because I said I'd do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't
just for
want
the simple
Bon Clay
fact he said he'd do it.
Well, it's not just, it's the, like, he's willing to do the stuff no one else wants to do. Like, come up with that plan for Bon Clay to save Ace, to make sure the war doesn't destroy everything. Like, that part, like, he made sure it gets done. Nobody else would have been able to make sure it gets done.
That's very true. I can definitely see that. He also, one thing I do see about Jinbei, different than any of the other Straw Hats, he is, like, quick to just jump into a role to keep things moving. We see, like, even in this, like how you say, he took on the burden of not telling Luffy that, but also he understands that that's for the better of everybody. And he knows Luffy. At that point, he don't even know Luffy enough like that, because Bond probably was the one to tell him, don't tell him. But
I think he can infer from being friends
with Ace,
that his little brother is going to be similarly temperamented to him. Yeah. Just because...
Yeah.
Like, he had that fight that lasted 5 days with Ace and everything. So, like, it makes sense. That
that is definitely one of the more noble sacrifices in One Piece. I can't think of too many on top of it, besides maybe nothing happened, but they get out.
I can think of two more noble.
Well, I know nothing happened for definite, for sure.
Kizuki Oden.
We ain't there yet, though.
I know.
But that's...
Are you talking about to this point?
Yeah. Nothing happened for sure.
Yeah, because it's worth more than the first time he did it. It's worth more than the first time Bond did it, because Bond wasn't guaranteed to be completely screwed. Yeah. Like, there was a chance Bond could have stayed, but he's stuck in the prison with somebody he could never beat. So, it's... Definitely. Yeah, I guess at this point it would be.
Overall, I can definitely see nothing happened. The Odin sacrifice for his crew, and the only last one I can see that we can interject in there is Kuma's.
Well, Kuma's the biggest one. Yeah. Like, so that don't really count yet. Like, saying it now.
Nah, really you're right. But nah, they get out, and bro, like, it's going off. Like, they realize that at this point when they get out, it's like, was like 12. How many hours is it till his execution after they get out? 3. Yeah, I don't know where the hell I get 12 from.
4.
3 over 4 hours, and that's most of that is spent just to freaking sailing there.
What's it called? It only takes them like an hour to sail.
Yeah.
Because they just move it up.
Yeah, they do just move it up.
But yeah, it's a noble sacrifice, and I don't know what the wording was in the anime. I don't remember it, but I wrote down how it's worded in the manga because it's worded much better. But the internal monologue that Bon Clay has when he's about to have to fight Magellan, or he thinks he has to fight Magellan, is he says, "The flower of friendship can bloom even in hell. Now the petals will be scattered upon the rolling blossom of the sea. One day I will make that flower bloom again." And then it's like, says like Mr. Bon Clay, and then there's a square later on that implies it's part of his thing, his internal monologue. And it says, "I'll see you as soon as possible," or "I will see you again as soon as possible." Talking about Luffy.
Yeah.
Which goes way harder than
it
what
does.
happened in the manga or the anime. Like the English dub, that goes so much harder. So much harder.
I definitely like it.
That line almost makes up for how annoying I find Bon Clay.
Come on, man. Almost. He don't like Bon Clay, y'all. He think Bon Clay annoying.
Yeah, it's just that he's annoying. Like, he seems like a good dude to have your back.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
like, I'm not going to be like, I won't let him in my crew. I'm just going to be like, leave me the fuck alone.
He's verbally annoying. So that one line made up for most of his verbal annoyance. Okay. I can slide with that.
No, it's like, as a dyslexic person, reading what he says in the manga is fucking hard, okay? Because of his cadence and how he talks.
I've never seen someone accept their flaws so wholeheartedly.
Like, that shit's hard to read, okay?
Bruh. Hey, it's a lot of...
Like, his voice acting, the dude does a good job, but it doesn't stop it from being annoying. But the thing that made it, like, I don't like Bon Clay as a character is how many times I have to reread his fucking chat bubbles.
Nah,
I have to reread them like 4 or 5 times because I'm just like, what the fuck did he say? Like, because it looks like gibberish.
Nah, some things Bon Clay, like, his dialogue could be somewhat excessive sometimes, but it was the whole everything about Impelled Down and his whole role in it. Just it kind of made up, like, it made me like him a lot.
Also,
like,
just the other thing, it's in a different fucking font.
Yeah.
Like Crocodile's is too. Like Crocodile's is hard to
Who
read
else
too.
is just like that? It's somebody else that's just like that.
But they're in like completely different fonts.
Yeah, different from everything.
What's it called? Gecko's is in like a slightly different font.
Gecko,
but it's still readable. But what's it called?
Like a horror font almost.
Yeah, but Crocodile and Bon Clay's, they're like very flowy.
Yeah.
Their dialogue bubbles are very flowy because they talk exaggeratedly. So, as a dyslexic person, it's really fucking hard to read. I'm just like, what the fuck did he just say?
I understand. Like, but nah, that is a bar though. That's definitely a bar, and it fans a lot of flames for Bon Clay's return. And a lot of people were speculating in these last little reaction piece chapters, if y'all know about them. Basically, like, Bon Clay was one of the few people we didn't see make an appearance. So it's crazy that you say that and you did that quote, because like that would be definitely. I'm okay with Bon Clay coming back. Like, I think it's definitely an anticipated return.
Well, what's it called? Every member of Baroque's work that matters
has made a return.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, at that point, like Mr. Bones is in Cross
Daz
Guild.
Bones, yeah. He is in Cross Guild now. That's
he's
true.
in Cross
I forgot
Guild.
about that.
Mr. Three's in Cross Guild.
Yep.
VV's with Morgan's.
Yep.
And Miss All Sundays
so
with the Straw Hats.
So yeah, freaking
he's
Bon Clay is the only one that hasn't made a return. So
yeah. So it makes sense if he were to make a return now.
Yeah, I'm with it though. But yeah, I think after we go through that and they go through the motion on the seas, they show us where everybody else at. Like you said, it was just a little sneeze where they were, but it took me forever to realize where they were and what significance they had in their places, which is, I like that it was all just for them to get better, and you know, every place they were was either for them to improve or for them to improve the place they were at, which I thought that was nice.
And then we learned Crocodile's racist.
Oh, I could have told you that.
Like, you probably thought it, but we got confirmation because he's talking to Jinbei, and he's just like, all you fishmen are barbarians.
Yeah,
and
generalizations.
Jinbei hits him with the cold-ass line. He's just like, I'll take that as a compliment. Some of my brethren are barbarians.
Some of my brethren are barbarians.
And Crocodile's just like, what? The fuck?
Reverse psychology.
The Crocodile's just like, what? Also, where the fuck you get a cigar from?
I don't know.
Did he just make it out of sand?
I don't know. Buggy. Buggy, who just pulls crap out of nowhere at this point.
Yeah, oh yeah, and then the announcement starts for the execution of Ace, and they're just like, "Oh, just so all you guys know, there's this dude named Buggy that rolled with Gold Rogers," and Buggy's just like, "Son of a bitch, nobody was supposed to know. We thought he was just an upstart, but he's the blood brother of Red Hair Shanks." And Buggy's just pissing himself scared now.
Because everybody knows who he is.
But everybody
else
that doesn't have a name on the pirate ship
going crazy.
It's just like, oh my god, he's our savior. He's Pirate Jesus.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hell, the legendary Captain Buggy.
That's gotta be one of my favorite gags in One Piece. Just Buggy's so unlucky strokes of luck that he doesn't want at all. Like he literally doesn't want any of it, but he gets so much glory just almost automatically and randomly. It's one of my favorite gags, bro. Dude, they're just hard.
He's king. He's the proto king from One Punch Man.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's the proto king.
King, yeah, I do like the same. I do like the same gag.
Well, also
the king
he's
gag
got like
Punch Man too.
He's got like the potential for the biggest hack.
Oh no, for sure.
Or like the biggest hacks of anyone, because he can't really die to any conventional means.
Yeah, by conventional means, yeah.
Like you can't. Like he basically has reverse curse technique. Like if you think about it,
hey, you ain't wrong. You cooking. You definitely cooking.
And it doesn't cost him any energy to use it. Like,
yeah.
So like,
but nah,
like,
they
just imagine when he awakens that shit.
Hey, that's the most anticipated Devil Fruit awakening right now. I definitely say that.
You want to know what my most anticipated Devil Fruit awakening is?
I already know it.
What?
You want Doll's Devil Fruit to come back and
no. Okay.
Well,
yes,
Baby
I think,
5, not
I think
Doll. Baby 5.
I think Baby 5, if you had a good imagination, is the most OP Devil Fruit. But the awakening probably doesn't like change that much about it.
So who is the awakening you waiting on then?
The awakening I want to see happen is Choppers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That or Robin's.
I don't know what else Robin could do in her awakening that she ain't already done.
I know. That's like, so those are the two I want to see the most because they have the most what the fuck potential. Like Buggy's probably has a lot of what the fuck potential, but Choppers is the one I want to see awaken the most.
Oh, good.
Or Isho. Isho's is probably fucking crazy.
I'd rather see more of his before an awakening just because I like his character, but yeah. But yeah, we just now getting into Marineford. Like you said, they do that announcement telling us about the situation. We got Buggy, who's not only former crewmate of Rogers, but also the blood brother of Shanks. And I thought about this when I was seeing it, bro. Like, Buggy gets the same. Imagine, okay, all the stuff that Luffy's done up to this point, even if you can think you can interject some things afterwards. But Buggy, he gets all this glory and stuff. You can swear that if you was to take him and make him do the stuff Luffy did, you can see him getting Luffy getting the same glory. But Luffy doesn't do it for the glory. And Buggy, even though he don't want the glory, he's not necessarily turning the glory away. You know, like, he's literally, the glory's coming his way. Oh crap, I don't like it, but he doesn't go out of his way to denounce the glory like Luffy does. Like, we're gonna see in Dressrosa, like we've seen in Alabasta, like we've seen in what's another one that I can't think of? Oh, like Water 7, like we seen how they did. They don't chase glory, the Straw Hats. They don't chase glory at all. But Buggy, he literally just absorbs the glory and he holds it. So I noticed that opposite parallel, like when I was looking at it, and I was like, it kind of makes sense watching this now, how him, Blackbeard, and also Luffy end up becoming Emperors of the Sea. It makes a lot of sense at this point, you know, having a hindsight 2020, seeing how they could really end up becoming Emperors of the Sea just off this arc. You see just how, like, the savior thing, how all the prisoners and, like, ex-criminals looking up to Buggy, like you said, Pirate Jesus, literally the savior.
Speaking of Pirate Jesus, in about 5 minutes later, Buggy's just standing on the bow of the boat with his hands up like he's praying to God in front of the door to Marineford. And the door opens. Like out of nowhere, the door just... Hallelujah. Like the fucking song that they sing at the start of fucking Lion King, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're just like, oh my God, Bucky's a messenger of God. That's
He's
actually
him.
what one of them says.
He's him.
Oh my God, Bucky is Himothy. Like, that's what all the pirates with him think, is that, like, Bucky's the greatest thing
at
ever.
this point. And it only increases too. It never really turns down. They always kind of take extra lengths to worship Buggy.
Well, like, in the future, it gets even funnier.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there too. Oh, we're gonna
Like, the Cross Guild posters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that stuff gets a little out of hand. So, we see, after the door opens, it cuts to shit getting real in Marineford. Because they're just like, oh my God, look at all those ships. And there's like, what is it, like 43 pirate ships out in the distance, I think is the number.
I believe
Marineford. And they're just like, oh my God, but where's Whitebeard's ship? I don't see it anywhere. Oh my God, what's this? Shadows in the bay. Oh my God, what's that? What's this? What's that? And you see Blackbeard pulls like a straight up fucking...
Whitebeard.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I don't know why it's so easy to say Blackbeard. It's that, I guess
you
it's
don't got a white instead of black. You only got to say CK in Ebonics. You just black. And you'll get Blackbeard.
Whitebeard.
Whitebeard.
Like fucking Stewie or some shit. Talking about wheat
Come on,
thins.
you know that little extra you got to put that extra W in it, like Whitebeard.
Whitebeard.
But I get it.
Whitebeard.
But I get it. That dude, literally, bro, like, this is one thing I do like that they do. They use previous, like, we seeing now that the ship's possible to come from underwater. The only other time we see that is a submarine. But literally, the next coming of arcs, we're going to see ships being able to go underwater.
Well, that was the entire point of meeting Rayleigh.
Yeah, but we see it in
ships.
action.
Yeah.
The same thing, like actually seeing it in action.
The question is, did Rayleigh coat their ships?
I don't know. I think Whitebeard shit was designed to do that because it's called the Moby Dick.
Well,
But I
they
could be
said
wrong.
that it was coated
Yeah.
in the manga. They say all of his ships were coated.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. Maybe they are made to go underwater.
I don't know. I mean, Rayleigh's the only person I know that does code unless they
Well,
said
also,
it was
he's
someone
super
else.
close to Marineford.
What's
Like,
up,
he's
Audi?
super close. So, I don't know.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, there's a big possibility there. And then the next thing, they pop out. Blackbeard's just like, sup, bitches. And the Navy people start crapping themselves. Like, that's the best way to explain it. The Navy guys start absolutely crapping themselves. So, Whitebeard comes out. He uses the Gomu Gomu no Mi to make a giant tsunami. And that giant tsunami is not gonna matter for later. Trust me, wink wink, nudge nudge. There's nothing on top of the tsunami. So, to stop the tsunami, Aokiji, Kuzan, whichever one you want to call him, I like calling him Aokiji. It's a funner word to say than Kuzan. Fight me on it. I don't care.
I mean, just Aokiji is the name the military gave him, and Kuzan is his actual name.
I know, but Aokiji is a funner word.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Aokiji is cooler, but just for, reference. Because, once he leaves, well, that's not true because they still call him Aokiji.
Yeah, they still call him Aokiji.
Yeah, they still
he
call him
uses
Aokiji
his,
after.
I just always assumed it was his first name.
I mean, we all did.
Because that's how they say it.
We all did until the explanation came out.
Yeah. But he uses Ice Age, freezes the tsunami, freezes the bay, and he's just like, man, look how strong he is. And in the grand scheme of things, like, Whitebeard makes him look not that strong. Like, Whitebeard's just him. Whitebeard's got that dog in him.
Oh, for sure.
Like, Whitebeard's just like, oh, that's cool. Immediately shatters it. Like, shatters a bunch of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
literally, like, it's the type of way, the way that fruit was explained to how powerful it is. It's, yeah,
Well, in like 5 episodes' time, he's going to do something really weird that makes like no sense. He's going to like rake his hands and grab part of the air.
Yeah.
Because, so it makes me wonder, is his fruit awakened because of how he did that?
I don't know.
Because remember, in the manga, it shows it off way better than the show. So when he does that move where he acts like he grabs a curtain and pulls,
yeah, I know what you're talking about,
and it makes everything around them, like in the manga, it shows it off really well. It's like a mile or 2 radius around them. It's like everything's like divided into circles and looks like a gyroscope. Like how he tilts everything and everything's tilted a different way. But it's like he like grabbed the fabric of reality and pulled it to like unlevel everything.
Like I would be surprised if it wasn't, or I wouldn't be surprised to say that it was. But when I look at his fruits like Whitebeards, those fruits that are powerful, but not only powerful that we don't get to see a whole bunch of them at one time to thoroughly judge it. Because besides this moment here, whatever happens in Marineford, we're not going to see this fruit in use again, literally until damn near 1100.
Yes, not till like, I don't think it's still the law fight.
Yeah,
or not the law fight, the Kobe fight.
Yeah, so like, yeah, around 1100.
Yeah, because I don't think we see it until he fights Bowie and Kobe.
So like, I would be like, if they would just come out and say it was awakened, I wouldn't even combat it.
Also, it makes sense though if what's it called? Blackbeard can't use the awakened version of it if it was awakened for Whitebeard. Because, like, everyone adapts to their fruit differently. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised.
But we don't know how the growth is affected when they don't get them naturally. That's something that ain't been tacked into. Or if it even changes at all.
We also don't know how they absorb them.
Well, we know, as far as Blackbeard, no. But the only other outside ways we've seen them administered besides eating them was whatever Blackbeard did. And, Big Mom ate her nun sister to get her power.
Ate her adopted mom.
Yeah, her adopted mom to get her power. And then we only saw the artificial and the smiles. So
no, there's one other. Bonnie.
Yeah. Bonnie,
because her fruit is hard-coded directly into her DNA.
But that method's not... the method for it hasn't been explained yet.
Yeah, we just know Saturn basically just shot her up with it.
But no, the tremor fruit, it's the way they explain it. It's literally, if it comes out to be awakened, I wouldn't even be surprised. It's that powerful.
Where Blackbeard has it, wouldn't be surprised if it's awakened.
Yeah,
because like they make it sound like he can make how it's the tremor fruit or the quake fruit, depending on which version.
I mean, he didn't use tremor. He didn't use quakes. He didn't do them both at this point.
Well, like, the naming convention of it is interesting because it's like the onomatopoeia for when something tremors.
Mm-hmm. Which, They use a lot of onomatopoeias
for
for a lot of the names.
It's mostly paramecia and logias
For the most part, yeah.
Because what's it called?
I mean, Zoans have to be the actual name of the animal
For the most part, yeah. But like, what's his name? Anel's fruit is the sound thunder makes.
Yeah,
it's like the onomatopoeia for thunder.
Rumble.
Yeah.
Rumble,
so the English is rumble, but it's supposed to be like the sound of thunder in the sky.
There's another one. Glorp, I think is one. That's Groose. Glorp.
I think the
Prince Groose.
I think the swamp fruit, caribou's fruit. I think that is an onomatopoeia also in Japanese.
I couldn't tell you.
The mucus guy, his is a onomatopoeia. Guy. The sticky no meat. The Japanese name for his is like it's like
I'm trying to think of the character. Hold on.
Yeah, the secret skinny guy.
Who?
That was a good plot twist.
Who? I'm trying to think of. Help me. Who is the guy?
It's Don Flamingo's right hand.
Trouble.
Trouble. It. What's it called? The Japanese version of his name is Trevor, so I keep getting it mixed up.
Then I can't. It was another one.
But yeah, that was such a good plot twist.
Talking about
that he's secretly super skinny. That was clever as fuck. I got to give Oda that. That was super clever. We'll talk more about that when we get there. But that's one of the single most clever things Oda's ever done.
You can't say we'll talk about it more when we get there, then continue to talk about it. That's so.
I'm just saying that was clever.
Contradictive.
It's like Bonnie's the most cleverly written character in One Piece, and I'll fight people on that. But we'll talk about that later.
I never actually thought who's more cleverly written. I never thought about that.
But it's more so her powers, how they work, is the most clever. But
okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, because it's an actual.
I mean, she
thing
probably has probably has the most OP power in the whole show. But again, this is not about Bonnie.
Well, no, like her.
This is not about Bonnie.
I know, but her power is just Peter Pan syndrome, which is really cool.
See, I don't even know about Peter Pan syndrome, but again, we'll talk about that when we get there.
I'm probably gonna make a video on that, guys. So stay on the lookout for that. But Blackbeard starts jacking up the Navy. They get scared, and then it cuts to a ship on top of a massive piece of ice. I wonder whose ship that could be. Well, first, we see a bunch of people falling from the sky, and then immediately next episode / next chapter, we just see people falling from the sky, and it's just like, oh my god, where could they have come from? And you see Luffy's just like, oh, it's fine if I land on the ice, I'm made of rubber. And Buggy's just like, what about the rest of us? And then it cuts to the ship on top of the iceberg, just like, so what we need to do is we need to push it off the iceberg and go around the iceberg and get to the bay. And all the guys are just like, Luffy, that's stupid. And he's just like, what other choice do we have? And the guy's just like, okay, good enough. And then the idiots in the ship push the wrong way. They push the wrong side of the ship, so it goes falling over into the bay. The bay of, what's it called? I can't even think of Marineford. Into the bay of Marineford. And when they're falling, they get lucky. It falls directly into the water. And then the first thing that happens when they land is Crocodile pulls a bitch move and tries to get Whitebeard.
Yeah, tries to get his unsung revenge on Whitebeard. And I still like the theory and the memes that he mad because Whitebeard probably used him as a hook to fish for sea kings before. I still love that theory.
That'd be pretty funny if that was what it was.
You seen it? The little picture? Like, he freaking took Crocodile, wrapped him in a rope, and, like, he got him on, like, a line. He's literally, like, you can see the knots in it. It literally looked like they fishing knotted it. And his hook's, like, at the end of it. And it's just so funny. But
it'd be hilarious if that what it was. Like, the ropes, like, made out of, like, has sea prism stones in it.
Yeah.
That way he can't escape. That'd be hilarious. But the person that stops it, because Whitebeard's just like, you can't even cut me. He didn't even care. Luffy stops him, and Luffy's just like, hey, you must be the guy my big brother Ace has been talking about.
This is a golden moment.
And then Whitebeard's just like,
what did you say, squirt?
at first he's just like, in the manga, like the first thing he notices is like, is that Roger's hat? Is this the dude Shanks was talking, like gassing up?
Yep.
He's just like, oh,
That's
he's just
Roger's
like,
hat.
I love, and then he just immediately just like, if he has Shanks' respect, he has my respect. But he pretends that he doesn't respect him. Yeah. He pretends that he doesn't, and he like, it flashes back to what he asked Shanks, and Shanks is just like, I didn't lose it to anybody. I bet it on the new coming of the new age era.
Yep, I bet it on the next generation.
The manga, his exact wording is, I bet it on the coming new era.
Yep.
Is the wording in the manga, which is a really hard fucking line.
Oh yeah, that's a bar. That's for sure a bar.
Whitebeard's just like, you would have had my respect just being Ace's little brother, because we learned the next episode that Ace has gassed the fuck up out of his brother to Whitebeard. To everyone in the crew knows who Luffy is.
Yeah.
Because ever since he got his bounty from beating Arlong, Ace has been like, look at my little brother, look how good he's doing. To everybody. Even Marco just says something in the manga about being tired about hearing about Luffy so much.
I'm so sick of hearing about this.
Yeah. He's like, we've heard a lot about you, Luffy, and he has like an exasperated look on his face.
Yeah. But don't, man, I like how, like, Luffy's still treating him like he would treat anybody else.
Yeah, he
like,
doesn't.
Yeah, you're the old guy, my brother. Like, I'm still gonna save my brother, and I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Like, he just gave it to him, like, straight up, like he would everybody else. And Whitebeard, like,
I like this dude.
Yeah, I fuck with you. And then it was like, I don't know if this was the moment or it came later, but it was one where it was later. It was we'll get there. No, that's a little later.
But I love how he's just like, Luffy's just like, you treated my brother good, so I respect you.
Yeah, he wouldn't that was the whole premise for him stopping Crocodile. Was the fact, I'm not gonna let you hurt somebody that my brother.
Someone that cares this much about my brother, like,
yeah, he obviously important, and you're not gonna touch him. I don't give a fuck if you just help me get here. Like, I don't care about none of that.
It's just like, you might have come with me, but I still beat your ass again.
Like, don't care.
Don't forget why you went impaled down.
Well,
I've gotten stronger since
then. Place,
I've gotten stronger since then. You haven't. Like, fuck with it.
That's crazy, man. That's like, still so crazy.
Because think about it. Like, while he's in impaled down, he could do push-ups and shit like Mike Tyson did. Like, like his ass was just stuck there.
He ain't gonna get no close to the waking his devil fruit doing push-ups and sit-ups.
Hey, he might. Mike Tyson awakened something when he was in prison doing push-ups, sit-ups, and body weight squats. So, like, why can't he?
Because ain't no sand in that mug.
You right. There ain't no sand. There's just sand.
A bunch of water. Then that's what Luffy used to beat you? Oh, man.
Hey, look, we're surrounded PTSD by it this time.
But that boy had PTSD the whole time.
He's on a boat. He's just like, I can't stand being in a boat, like scratching his neck like a crackhead.
That boy was going through it the whole time. I believe that wholeheartedly.
I don't doubt it at all. He was probably like mentally just like, I hate being in the same ship as this little bitch, this motherfucker. It's like, killing Whitebeard will make up for it. It'll make up for it. Like, that's what I think. That's why he needed a cigar. He needed something in his mouth to keep from screaming.
Oh, bruh. That was crazy too. Because I thought about this too, reading. Ace, whole reason where he at right now is because of Blackbeard. Like, the whole reason, his quest for Blackbeard, all that. You realize Shanks, the whole reason he went to Whitebeard was to tell Ace not to chase Blackbeard. And it's like, we start to see Blackbeard being that symbol of, like, this was like the beginning of him being that symbol of, like, the down spiral, or like just that you see the negative part, because like we all know Luffy and Blackbeard like correlate in the story, but like Blackbeard, Ace being one of the story's first examples, maybe not the plots or the lores, but in the actual story, Ace was one of the first people that Blackbeard take down to get his power. Versus like Luffy, first person he took down to get him his like world renowned like what the hell was like Crocodile. Like East Blue, that Arlong got him his East Blue fame. But where everybody
you mean like New World fame?
Yeah.
Or Grand Line fame.
Grand Line fame, yeah. Yeah. So Crocodile gave him that Grand Line fame. So now we get to this, because technically we're still on the Grand Line. But where Ace at right now, you look at, because when they passed, both guys showed the whole reason he was out there is because of Thatch. You know, Blackbeard killed Thatch, took the dark fruit and all that betrayal, you know, of that. And you know what's coming right next, because I just thought about it. They pulled that betrayal up again, trying to discredit Whitebeard, saying, oh, you pretty much only favor Ace and all that.
Oh,
you're
talking about the Akainu thing?
Yeah, and I was just like, bro, like
we're about to talk about the Akainu thing.
Yeah, it just because it was that didn't like that's a byproduct.
But also, that's
originally
the entire reason Sengoku and the Elder Planets want to execute Ace is because they understood Blackbeard's actual goal with taking Ace in.
Yeah,
because Ace, the goal of taking Ace in, Ace thinks Whitebeard wants to become the Pirate King, but no, it's because Whitebeard is like friends isn't the right word with Roger. It's just they had so much respect. Like they're like rivals that became they're like they're friends, but they're not like the typical thing that you think of when you say friend. It's like Kakashi and Mike Guy. Yeah, would be a good example.
They're friends because of their rivalry.
Yeah.
Rivalry doesn't
that they just
exist.
Became really good friends.
Yeah, rivalry doesn't exist. They would have been another stepping stone to each one and would have stepped on.
Yeah. And so he respected him and saw him as a friend so much that as soon as he found out who his dad was, he pretended that he didn't give a fuck, and then he was just like, no, you're my son now. No, he actually took Ace in specifically to mold him into the best pirate he could possibly be. That way he could take his father's mantle.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the entire reason. So that's what makes Akainu's trick and trap so smart, is because it's almost true. Like the first half of what he says is true.
Yeah.
So his trap is he finds Squard and tells him that that there was a deal with Whitebeard to let Ace go, but he had to give up his fleet for Ace's life.
Yeah.
Had to give up his armada for Ace's life. And since Ace is his favorite, air quotes, son, like adopted son, Ace is his favorite adopted son, he's his second in command, and he's only been with him for like 2 years. Like, he has a lot of trust in Ace, and everyone just, as soon as they found out that he's Goldie Roger, everyone realized that's probably what it was. And Squard hates Gold Roger because Squard lost his original pirate crew in a battle with Gold Roger and lost a lot of his men. Like, a lot of his men died because he tried to fight Gold Roger and lost. Which also is like, that's some bitch shit. Like, you're the ones that challenged Gold Roger. Why are you mad that you, like...
And it's because it goes back, you know, that was another thing.
It's like Russia crying about losing in Ukraine.
Exactly. But you remember, because this is another thing that I love that Oda does, he gives us other examples of the opposite of something he already gave us. If you remember, Zoro, the explanation to why he wouldn't let Usopp back in the crew was because of his disrespect. He told him, you sign up to be a pirate, you understand the stuff that comes with that. That's back to again. So you see in, what you said his name was? I always forget his name. Squard. In his situation, he signed up to be a pirate. Why are you upset that you lost? You knew as soon as you started you would have lost.
You lost a fight that you started.
Yeah.
Because he says, we attack Blackbeard. Like, his wording is,
we attack Roger.
Yeah, or not Blackbeard. Roger. Blackbeard, it's because Blackbeard... No, it's because, like, in history, Blackbeard's, like, the most famous pirate ever. Yeah. So that's, like, what... Like, it's fun. Like, I wish his name wasn't Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you talk about pirates in a, like, historical context, like, Blackbeard's famous for being the biggest piece of shit. Also, like, Oda names, like, his right-hand woman after the actual Blackbeard's mother. Her name was Katarina.
Damn. I didn't know that. Like,
Yeah.
you just taught me something today.
I think is what it is.
Hey, who knew that? Y'all hit the comment and tell me y'all knew that.
I think it's her. Like, she's named after a famous pirate. I'm pretty sure it's Blackbeard's mom. I'm pretty sure.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, because Blackbeard, there was an actual Blackbeard, and he's famous for like being an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah,
like,
I knew that.
Raping like every chick that he saw on the sea.
Pillage.
Yeah, like
pirates took after Vikings.
To a degree, yeah.
To a degree, yeah. Not fully, not religious based and all that, but boats, seas, rape, pillage, loot, and booty, all that. Yeah.
Alcoholism.
Yeah, yeah. But no, that they did set that up pretty well. Like that betrayal, like the first half of it did sound so believable that it's like you could have just put that topping on there and they would have went with it regardless. But that just goes to show, because of someone like Squad and his situation that he was in, there was nobody else on that ship that had a more deeper or could have had a more deeper hatred for Roger than
that we
him.
Knew about.
That we knew about.
Besides
of course.
Ace.
Well, yeah, Ace
hates Gold Roger more.
But that's a you know.
That's because he blames Gold Roger for his mom.
For his mom, but imagine if Luffy was Roger's son, he'd be happy as hell. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's more of a character thing why he hates Roger than hating Roger.
There's one thing we got to get before Akanu's trapped, though. There's two things. We meet Marco, who has one of the most OP devil fruits in the show.
Oh, for sure.
Especially like when you see what it does later on.
No, for sure. That
we see more of him.
Freaking crazy.
Because he's actually the head doctor of Whitebeard's crew, also being Whitebeard's second in command.
Yep. The true second in command.
The true second in command. He's like second in charge of the Moby Dick, not the second division. Yeah. Because Whitebeard heads the first division himself. Mm-hmm. But Marco is the Phoenix, and the Phoenix is OP because he's basically a Logia and a Zoan type at the same time. Yep. And he can do his hybrid form is super OP, like compared to everybody else's hybrid form. It's he can fly using fire or his wings, and he gets like bird legs, so he's like super strong. But in his hybrid form, he still acts like a Logia. Like as long as he's not in his human form, he still acts like a Logia. Like in the sense, like not that he can create fire, but he can't turn into the fire he creates like a Logia can. But his body's basically flames because he gets in a fight with Kizaru, and he's winning the fight with Kizaru. Yeah. Like Kizaru's messing with him because he shoots him like in the eye. Kizaru shoots Marco in the eye, and Marco says it still hurts, and Kizaru's just like, stop lying, because it doesn't actually hurt, because it works like a Logia. Kizaru even says, it's crazy because apparently he didn't know for sure, like how it's worded. It's like it was a rumor that Marco had it, a mythical Zoan, but he says like that's even rarer than the type that produces Logias, because mythical Zoans. You learn much later in Egghead that mythical Zoans are the strongest devil fruit we know to that point. We used to think it was Logias, but you learn from, I think it was Iva that tells us that they're the strongest. It's either Ginny or Iva, but they are the strongest devil fruits because they're like a Zoan and something else. Like they're like a Zoan and a Paramecia mixed together, or in Marco's case, because like Katarina Devon has the nine-tailed fox one, and she has the ability. She has Bon Clay's ability too.
I think it works differently though.
Yeah, it works different, but she has. It's like
because I think she can take the whole form, like completely, power and all.
I'm not. They haven't really shown it off really well. But she couldn't turn invisible when she turned into Absalom. So
but she didn't have to.
Yeah, but it just shows off how like they're so much stronger than normal ones because they're not. You don't only get the massive strength increase and speed increase, like all your physical attributes go up. You also get a random power that's just hacks. Also, like you learn like what Marcos can do. Like he doesn't use it here, but also his flames can heal you. Like, they don't just heal him. They can heal other people. And it's based on your stamina level. But for him, he can heal almost anything for himself, though. Which is super broken. He's like half Logia, half Zoan. And then, like, Luffy's another good example. He's a Zoan mixed with a Paramecia,
We don't
basically.
gotta go into that.
I know we don't get... I'm just... Like, the example is...
Like, no, it made sense
Mythical
for you to talk
Zoans are
about...
OP
It
as
made
shit.
sense for you to go into Marco, but after you going into Luffy, you're getting off track.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
This
I need
is-
to do all that.
But, like, he's fighting Kizaru, and he's winning the fight with Kizaru. Or... He might not be winning, but Kizaru's on
It's
the
definitely
defensive.
not. It's definitely some difficulty in there.
Yeah. But it's not like Kizaru has been shown to just, like, tear through people, but he can't shake Marco. Also, like, none of his attacks work on Marco. Which is interesting, because at this point, I do think Kizaru does have hockey at this point.
It's hard to tell.
Because he can hurt people that he shouldn't be able to hurt.
Yeah, but
But he also couldn't hurt Marco. So it's like real up in the air. We know Akanu has hockey at this point, though.
yeah, we know.
We
that.
know Sakazuki and Kuzan probably had hockey at this point. And if he didn't
I would
have
say
hockey,
definitely.
because, like, there's a reason he feels that he owes Garp his life that we talked about a long time ago. But that happens, and the second thing that's important is Oars Jr. shows up. And we get a... Does it show the flashback why Oars Jr. likes Ace so much?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Because he makes him a...
Yep.
I forgot what the name of the hat is, but he makes it one of those hats that people in a rice field wear
Yeah.
to keep the sun off him. Because Oars is super tall. He's almost as tall as the Oars that... Little Oars Jr. is almost as tall as the Oars that Gecko has put up. But Little Oars Jr. is also young, so he's just going to get taller.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not that old. And those live to be like... Doesn't the Demon Giants live to be like 400 years old or some shit like that? I looked it up. They live to be slightly older than normal giants. But... So, he's still relatively young. So, he's going to keep getting taller. And so, while he was in Wano, Ace learned how to make those hats. Specifically because he wanted to give Oars one of the hats. Well, that's not why he learned how to do it, because he was a spades pirate when he went to Wano. But he spends 3 days straight making Little Oars Jr. this hat, so that way he's not stuck directly under the sun all the time.
Yep.
And it also helps him in the rain and stuff like that, because Ace took the time to make sure there was no gaps in the straws, so he could wear it without getting soaking wet and stuff like that. And Oars sees it as like the nicest thing anyone's ever done for him, so he loves Ace like a brother.
So that's why he plays to follow him.
Yeah, and so he's crazy strong. He DDTs a ship.
Yeah.
He DDTs an entire battleship. It takes 2 Warlords of the Seas to knock him down. It takes Doflamingo and Gecko Moria to stop his rampage, while he's just getting peppered with like hundreds of cannonballs. But Gecko wants him because he's a new Oars. Because
pretty much.
that's Gecko's like whole thing. He wants a big body to put a strong shadow in.
So he ain't learned his lesson.
Yeah, he hasn't learned his lessons of fighting his own damn battles.
But I ain't learned his lesson yet.
I can't wait for him to learn his lesson. It's gonna be so cathartic just because I don't like Gecko. She. Like, bruh, shut your ass up.
He got one of the worst laughs in the show for.
Yeah, like, it's almost as bad
Sorry
as
if
Saul's.
you like Moria, but nah, Moria.
It's almost as bad as Saul. Saul's is excusable though because he partially does it to cheer Nico up.
Yeah, come on. You don't say Saul's is annoying after that backstory.
No, I'm saying like because it's phonetically very similar to Gecko Moria's.
Nah. The
Like
only
it's a similar
persons,
sound.
the only people that's similar to Gecko Mora's laugh is Caesar and Kaido, and Kaido's the biggest one. That's the most acceptable.
Well, how they're written is almost the exact same.
Yeah, but how they sound is the
Yeah,
one that's
like
the,
they say it differently, but phonetically
like,
they're supposed to sound the same.
Shiro, and Shro. Like literally, what like she, Shiro, ro, 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 Shro, 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 Shro. It's like literally it just goes high, then the SH, and then it just puts the R in it and makes it low.
Yeah,
and that's
like,
why he sucks.
I'm not saying I hate Saul's laugh.
Why ain't you doing it?
I'm saying I hate Gecko's laugh, and Saul's is similar.
It's not though.
They're written almost the exact same.
No, they're
okay?
not. Okay, bro. Say literally. Go into the fit you just did doing Gecko Mora's, then do Saul's and tell me those are the same.
He says Dara she.
He doesn't. He goes between dead as she more times. He doesn't say dead or once. It's dead as she, dead as she, dead as she. Every time he starts it, it has to start with dare. So it's not the same.
I didn't say it was the same. I said it was similar.
It's not similar either. It's like you have to go. You got to realize he has a 2-syllable laugh. Gecko Mora's a 1-syllable. That's already a difference. His start with S, his starts with D. That's already a difference. Like literally, what? It's
like
there's so many other laughs in the show that you can put in next to Moria's and they fit more than Saul's.
So the big thing is Saul's is the one I remember being written similar the most. Because like the start of it's not the exact same, but they both are she. Like to
but
end
the
it, and that's how they're
is
written.
not important to Saul though.
I know it's not. It's just that that's how much I dislike Geckos. Is that it ruins Saul's for me.
You shouldn't disrespect Saul like that.
Like
though. Like Caesar.
Like that's probably how I should have worded it. Is that Gecko pisses me off so much that his his laugh ruined somebody else's laugh for me. It's not that I dislike Saul's laugh. It's that Gecko's laugh. Like fuck Gecko. Fuck that albino piece of shit.
That's like I don't know.
That
like,
ginger-headed Muppet.
Because Saul was first. You know, Saul was first.
He might have been first, but
nah. Saul was first. Saul's laugh.
That doesn't mean something can't ruin it for me.
Oh no, it does. Because here's the thing: anything that came first, you wouldn't. That's the thing with everything. That's what everything tries to do. Why do you think we have these GOAT conversations of everything? Because everything's supposed to be a cheap copy of something else. Like the whole thing is, you wouldn't. If Saul was first, that you would word that so different. It wouldn't be like, oh, I heard Saul first, got to Moria. Moria's so bad, now Saul's is ruined. It's no. I've heard Saul's. I know Saul's. I've got to Moria's. I'm going to denounce Moria's completely because it's trying to be a knockoff of what this great one was. That's what people also, trying to do for...
Like, I see what... That could also be why I dislike Moria so much, is that it kind of ruined Saul's for me, since they're similar.
But so you wouldn't... But that's the thing, though. Like
that could also be...
Once you... Okay, but that's the thing. Okay, you got a favorite food. If your favorite food is pizza... If you get anything close to pizza, you're gonna denounce it because it's not pizza. That's you don't
here's a good
get
example.
to.
It's like, let's say like my favorite restaurant is, it's not. There's just an example, but like I don't eat at Subway anymore because I got really bad food poisoning from the Subway by my work.
Yeah, I get that. But
so like so now it's just like I don't go to Subway anymore because that one time it's sort of like that.
Yep, no.
It's not like how I see it. Like
that's
one bad experience.
That's not the same.
Made me go like,
but that's not the same analogy though, because you would have to.
I feel like it's not perfect, but it works.
No, because there's no comparison. There's no comparison there. There's nothing looking at saying, okay, this was good, but then it gave me food poisoning and now it's not good. But we're in the same entity though. Like, because there's no compare. That's why I went favorite food. You saw something else. It doesn't make this any less bad or good. That's what I'm going with. So, like, a better thing would be like, no, hold up. So, no, okay. So, when you get a restaurant, okay, just go back to the restaurant. You get a restaurant that's, let's say, okay, your favorite restaurant is Subway. You going to Firehouse doesn't make, like, let's say your favorite thing is Subway. You go to Firehouse, hate it. You don't diminish Subway because you hated Firehouse. It only increases Subway. So in Saul's case, Saul would be the Subway. Moria would be Firehouse. Firehouse sucks. It would only make Subway in Saul more better. You wouldn't make it worse. It would make it better because you're a cheap copy. To go back, that's what people try to say. Jordan or LeBron's trying to be a cheap copy of Jordan, or the right thing that people say Kobe's a cheap copy of Jordan. But that's if it's not the case, because the case is, if that's the case, if you can say that, you can look at Jordan with much more respect than you can, like, because Kobe did take a lot of his game from Jordan. So you look at Jordan like, damn, you had a game like that to make him do.
I think the big thing is, like, I've been over this before. I don't like the anime of One Piece,
I know
where it is, but I like the manga of One Piece. So when you read them, they're almost exactly the same. There's like only a 2-letter difference, and I think that's
3.
what it is.
4 actually. There's before she.
In the written version of Moria, there's another letter in front of the she. I forgot what it is. I think it's like Kara she or something like that. I don't remember. There's something in front of the she. Also, the high pitched of it fucking pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, I hate Moria's voice actor, but I think like you're supposed to not like his voice actor.
Mm-hmm. You're not,
because I think he's supposed to sound like a bitch. Because his whole thing is like, I don't want to fight any of my old battles. So
like, he's definitely
you fucking bitch.
He's definitely the dude that gave up on everything in order.
Like, he used to be like on the list of the GOATs. Apparently, like, he fought Kaido to a standstill and all this other shit. Did you see what he looks like as a kid?
Yeah,
or not a kid, but as a young adult.
Yeah, that's.
And he was like this big buff motherfucker, like the size of Kaido and shit. Yeah, it's just like, how are you gonna turn into this?
Dude, him and the adolescent looked weird.
Yeah, it did. But after that stuff, we get, in my opinion, the hardest line in the entire show. Like, I don't think it's even close.
What?
Shortly after they beat Oars, and the stuff.
You talking about Doflamingo's montage?
Yeah. It's probably my favorite line in the entire show.
Between that and Green Bull's montage at the end. But I agree with you.
So, there's a few things, like Doflamingo fights Atmos, one of the division leaders for Whitebeard, and he doesn't fight him, he makes him fight his crews. They're just like, what are you doing? And Doflamingo's making fun of the entire system of both pirates and Marines and the Navy, because the Navies are just like, we're justice, we're killing someone in the name of justice. And Doflamingo's response to that is, pirates are evil, the Navy unjust, but that's only true because history tells us so. Children who've never known peace have different values than children who've never known war. Mm-hmm. The one who wins will rewrite the definition of right and wrong. They'll decide the future and how the past is written. Will justice prevail? Why, there's no other way. The winner will decide the meaning of justice.
That's a bar.
And
many
so
bars.
That line is the entire reason I wanted to start this podcast in the first place.
Really now?
Yeah, so it's a derivative of a line that Friedrich Nietzsche wrote in, I can't remember the name of the book, but it's a derivative of one of Friedrich Nietzsche's quotes, one of his quotes. And the quote is, from Friedrich Nietzsche, is, all things are subject to interpretation. Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth. So it's there's no way Oda has not read Friedrich Nietzsche, because he literally just paraphrased it with pirates and navy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, the entire point of Doflamingo's quote is, "Whoever has the power at the end of the battle is the one that gets to define what actually happened." Like,
and
they're
it's
the
funny
ones
you
that
say
define
that.
what truth is.
And it's interesting you say that when we know what's coming.
Yeah.
We know what's coming. We're gonna hold that thought
And remember,
right there.
like, the thing that he's saying, it's Doflamingo's not saying that whoever wins is just or true.
He's
It's
saying
they
they're
get
right.
to use their power. Oh, the book's name is Truth to Power, by the way. I just remembered the name of the book.
Truth to Power. Friedrich Nietzsche. Truth to Power.
It's the Friedrich Nietzsche quote is saying that whatever interpretation is the one that prevails throughout history has nothing to do with truth. It's just they get to change what the definition of truth is. Just like the winner of Marineford gets to choose what justice is.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, justice, like, you could see it as a type of synonym for truth. Like, it's not a perfect synonym.
Not a perfect, because when you think about it, like, he's right. Like, he's not saying literally what's right or wrong in that moment only matters to who's in power at that moment. Because once whoever prevails, they'll rewrite it to whichever is right or wrong would be able to fit them, because they get to choose it.
But also, like, you could see it in a more cynical way. Doflamingo is saying that there's not an actual definition of justice.
Right.
The only thing that exists is power, and the person that is in power gets to pick the definition
of justice,
which is Akainu's entire mode of being. So it's like, he's basically calling out the world government as a bunch of hacks that claims that, like, they have a right to power because they believe in justice and their version of justice is superior, but their true form of justice is just beating everyone into submission and then saying, I won because I was justified in winning.
Right. And you see, I still find it so crazy that you mentioned that, because I'm seeing every aspect just bleed to me. You think about it, all the parties involved right now, just up at this point, Whitebeard, in his sense of justice, all he's there to do is try to save his adopted son. You look at Luffy, who he's there, you look what he just did. He just did a whole damn jailbreak, which people could look at that as an unjust act, but he's there to save his brother. Then you got the world government, the Marines, and their idea of justice. Of course, pirates are bad. Piracy needs to be punished, and the lineage of piracy needs to be punished because they are the oppressors of justice. All these are different viewpoints of actual justice, because once you dive into their reasoning, you'll see that all of them have some just ways to go about it. But all of these factions, minus the Luffy, I think Luffy's actually a middle one in this, but in Whitebeard and the Marines, all of their morals, all of their motifs, all of their customs are completely different in the way that they operate, in the way that they perform. So, bruh, like, even going forward, when Shanks arrives, he's even a different party in all of this. His form of justice at that point is that y'all just finna stop fighting, or I can just kill all of y'all right now. So you see it, like, when you think about that justice and how the different forms in that bar, like, he's Doflamingo saying this in the heat of all of this, in the middle of all of this, is just, that's poetry.
But also, if you think about it like this, because the Nietsche quote is talking about truth, but the Navy thinks that their justice allows them to suppress the truth.
Yeah, and that's true.
Because that's what everything about that's happening caught up, if you're caught up, like with Egghead and stuff like that, it's all about the Navy and the world government has used the power that they
obtained
to change the definition of justice and truth to hide the truth of the world from the common person.
Yeah.
To stay in power.
So, yeah, exactly that you say that and use this. So even now, I believe Marineford can be used to see as synonymous with Egghead, because what big truth that came out was that Ace was Roger's son that had been oppressed, because you see, just in that area, not even in the world, but in that area, how much turmoil that one fact caused. Imagine if you would have told everybody that the deceased Pirate King had a son. it wouldn't have been the same equivalent of what they're doing when they say the world sink, but it would have shook the world a little bit. So yeah, I definitely see that correlation being active. Like justice might be just that one word that we could use to.
Well, what's it called when you talk about justice as a actual term? Like what normally goes with it? Like when you're saying, like I have justice and what on my side?
Truth.
Truth. Yeah. So like that Doflamingo quote 100% convinces me that Oda has read Nietzsche,
studied Nietzsche,
or studied Nietzsche, and then it's on purpose. Like I don't know if he did like the whole like Ubermensch thing like we're talking about here on purpose,
but definitely
like making
aspects are there.
But there's no way he hasn't read something.
And use these elements to shape the story in the way that it has.
Well, or I don't even know if it's that he used it to shape the story. It's like what I think it is that he lets each individual person, like each bad guy, have a way of being that contradicts Luffy's way of being. And so he lets them fight it out at their strongest points to decide who wins. Like he lets the concepts of how you should be duke it out instead, like the characters define the concept that they're saying that they are. And that's what I think makes Oda a good writer, is the fact that he's just like, it's the same with Kishimoto and other like Kento Amura and all of them. Like what makes them so great is that they let their characters embody a concept and then forces them to go to their logical conclusion. And that's what makes the hero win. It's not that the hero needs to win because they're the hero. It's just because the philosophy that the hero has just is a better philosopher. Or not philosopher, but a better philosophy or way to live than what the hero, or not the hero's way of living life and looking at life and their philosophy on life is just strictly better than the villain's version.
Yeah.
And I think that's what every great work of fiction does, is
they highlight those aspects in just their characters and what they go through in their philosophies rather than the story themselves having to bleed that out to you.
And I think that's why anime touches something more than any other genre, because the entire idea of like the best animes and the best manga is that they're not facing a straw man of anyone's philosophy. They're facing the best version of that person's philosophy that they're fighting at any given moment. So they're fighting the most complete argument that person has for their way of being. And then they still have to come out on top without letting them mess up their argument for being.
Yeah.
Like all the ones that are still stuck in this cultural zeitgeist today. Like I think that's why One Piece is so popular now.
Yeah.
Is because Oda understands this concept and decided to take it even further. Like he started doing it a little bit at a time, like with relatively vague concepts. Like the first one with Arlong is racism. And he's just like, because everyone agrees racism. Everybody but a racist agrees racism is bad. Yeah. And then the next one is using people to get what you want, like cheating to get what you want with Don Krieg.
Yeah.
And then Arlong, or Don Krieg comes first, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's like cheating, like not doing things the correct way. And then Arlong is racist. So it's like stuff like everyone...
Superiority complex.
Everyone already agrees is like... Everyone already agrees those are like incorrect ways to look at the world.
Then was Water 7.
Well,
and then his
Alabastas would be you got to play the game correctly. Would be like the idea, like Luffy saying like you can't just take over the government because you want something for them. Like you can't oppress people and trick them like that. You have to.
Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah, you can't just oppress people and force them to be your way. you have to play the game correctly to get what you're after. You can't just force everyone under your thumb. And then Sky Island would be
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Would be you can't replace God with yourself just because you're stronger than other people.
Just because you're stronger. Water 7, one I was just thinking about, it was choosing life over like all aspects.
Well, are you saying Water 7 as a separate thing or the same
like
thing as Enies Lobby?
Well,
because I think you should compare
Lobby. No, with Enies Lobby. Because think about it. Choosing life above all aspects. You think about Aqua Laguna. And how the city was flooding. And like how they were literally living in this city that literally could have killed them at any point.
Yeah.
Like it was flooding. You had Aqua Laguna, but they always chose to live despite all of those. And of course, you get to Enies Lobby. I want to live.
I think the big thing in Enies Lobby is, so I was talking to you this week about this dude named Camus that came up with the idea of absurdism.
Yeah.
I think Enies Lobby is the thing that like cements Luffy as the absurdist hero.
Yeah.
So it's like, because like, what's the Camus quote that I told you about? Because it's basically how
the life one, the one about
yeah. So the idea of absurdism that Camus came up with.
The only way to deal with the unfree world is become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion.
Yeah. But the idea of absurdism is that the world, the universe, the reason for being, there's not an actual one, and you have to come to grips with the absurdity. And so the way to create meaning in the world is by living as free as humanly possible, because in doing so, you will create a meaning for yourself and sometimes a meaning for others without having to do, he basically said, like the 3 ways to do it is you can kill yourself, which he saw as admitting that you can't do it. And so you shouldn't kill yourself because it's admitting that like the uncaring universe, like that you couldn't deal with an uncaring universe. Yeah. And then the other way was religions and stuff like religions. And he's saying that's not dealing with the problem. That's just ignoring it.
Yeah.
And then the third one was to just be so absolutely free that you create meaning for yourself and others. Like just as much as you possibly can. And that's Enies Lobby is Luffy fully doing that. It's him becoming the absurdist hero. Because like the absurdist hero that Camus lines out originally is actually is Sisyphus from the Greek myth, the king that like defied death, chained Thanatos up, and like kept him in a dungeon to make it where humans couldn't die, and all this other stuff. And his punishment in the afterlife is he has to roll up a boulder up a hill, but the boulder's enchanted where every time it gets to the top of the hill, the boulder's going to fall back down. And so he has to infinitely do something that he can't stop. He has to just do it forever and ever and ever. But he said it's hard not to imagine that Sisyphus is happy because he understands how absurd like his world is. He understands all that stuff, but he's created a reason to exist. In doing
despite
his task.
All of that.
Yeah. Like he's created himself a reason to exist.
That's willpower.
By never stopping pushing the boulder.
Because like before, when you talk about killing yourself and basically the religion idea, both of those basically succumbing to
they're both
the universe. Like,
succumbing to
So the only option really is to reject the urge to just succumb to it and just be your own version. So yeah, I get that whole heart. And we do see that. We see that because in Enies Lobby, I do see that was the birth of him first starting to, actually act like that. And you take where we are in Marineford now, it's nothing but a big ass burst of that. Like straight up personified into a larger scale. Because Enies Lobby, it was a government facility, a government island. But it ain't the damn Navy base, bro. This is where the big wigs are. This is where, they write y'all checks here. This is where they write y'all checks at, bro. Like, they right here. Like, you done went from...
It's where they sign the checks.
Yeah. This is where the man at that signed them, yeah. But this is the epicenter of the whole thing. Like, you done walked onto their real turf. You in their face now. And you're here saying you're not finna execute my brother, even though the powers that be, which are them, say they gonna do it. And you say no. That's him. Basically, he don't care about the establishment. He's at the point now, you're not finna touch mine. Like, and I'm gonna go through hell and high water to stop you from interfering with mine. He literally
went through hell
and high water. Literally.
Like on a tsunami and everything. Like, that's the highest water.
Bro, the man older than to personify the damn, what do we call those things? Little phrases like that.
Idiom?
Idiom. It was on the tip of my tongue and I couldn't pull it. But he done personified the whole idiom.
I don't know if hell or high water is an idiom or not. But I mean, it's a turn of phrase.
It's a popular term that we've heard. And I forgot. But he really did that. And you personified that whole idea in just the setting. Not even just getting into how it goes on, but just the setting alone. And that is pretty great. That is pretty great.
Yeah, but like, and then Marineford is like the full extent of being the absurdist hero. Like, because remember, Ace is checked out. Ace is ready to accept his fate.
Yeah.
He's ready for the boulder to roll down the hill and never push it back up.
Yeah.
But Luffy's just like, hell no, bro. You pushing that boulder. Even if I have to help you, we pushing that boulder. Yeah. Like, that boulder's going up to the hill, and when it goes back down, I'll help you do it again. We getting you out of here.
Yeah, we ain't like rolling over.
Because, like, Ace has completely resigned himself.
Completely. I mean, because even to the point where, because they get to the point where, because Garp, Sengoku, Luffy, Whitebeard, they're all like, because Luffy ends up screaming towards Ace saying he's going to come save him. He's screaming back saying, I don't want you to save me. Get out of here. Save yourself. Which you already, he knows Luffy better than anybody to know Luffy not going to do that.
Is when Whitebeard first show up, he's like, why are you coming to save me? I went after Blackbeard on my own. Y'all told me not to. And Whitebeard goes, what are you talking about? I ordered you to chase him down. Isn't that right, Marco? Marco's just like, yeah, it was Captain's orders.
Yep.
Like, he's not letting Ace take
the full blame.
They're not letting Ace take a way out.
Yeah.
Is like the bit, like, but also you see, like, the people that have accepted the absurd the most in One Piece are the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the ones that just completely embraced the absurd, took the leap of faith into the absurd. It's the four emperors, Garp,
Roger,
Sengoku, Roger,
Whitebeard. What you said?
The three admirals.
The three admirals. Yeah.
The
seven warlords.
Yeah,
some of
like
the
Kuma.
Kuma definitely. Like, Doflamingo in a way.
Well, no, Doflamingo took the religious way out.
Yeah,
because he's trying to make himself God.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. He did take the religious, but Kuma definitely.
But it's better than, like, taking the religious way out is better than killing yourself. Yeah, Jinbei, but
because he was a warlord.
But everyone that has and like when Luffy accepts the absurdity, Rayleigh's accepted the absurd. Because you could even say that everyone chasing the One Piece has accepted the absurd because One Piece acknowledges the existence of the absurd.
Yeah. And
you could say chasing the One Piece is an acknowledgement the absurd exists.
That was the thing. Like, as the One Piece got more and more boosted, it got almost seemingly more and more absurd. Because think about it. Roger introduces that, I sailed around the world, I left it in one place, you got to go find it. That's already like big in of itself, around the world, one place, big ass world, what place? Then in the next point, which we're going to get to here in a minute, everyone knows, but Whitebeard declaring the One Piece is real. Of course, that's even more of a freaking absurd moment.
Also, another thing is, proof that the One Piece is absolutely absurd is that when they found it, they couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, of course. But yeah. So that's later. So yeah.
No. When they're at Shaky's bar, he says we couldn't help but to laugh when we found it.
Yeah, we ain't there yet.
No,
Shaky's you talking about the I'm thinking of the wrong part.
He told him that he laughed, but that's all Luffy would hear about it.
Yeah. So the first time in Roger, Shockey's bar, yeah. So when they first get that, they up the absurdity even more. Then we get to Whitebeard on that stage where it is declaring it's real, because of course Buggy gets to the point where he start broadcasting.
But also, that's the reason Buggy's so weak is because he refuses to take the leap of faith to go into the
absurdity. Yeah, I think he's more so rejecting the absurdity currently more than anything.
Well, remember, he made himself a religious figure with the people that follow him.
Yeah,
so savior. He's taking the second route.
Yeah, he is taking the second route. Ace right now is currently taking the first route.
Yeah.
Damn. But nah, as the One Piece gets mentioned more and more, you definitely start seeing it, the stage itself, and every time it's mentioned, it really doesn't look like anybody can go get it. Like when Roger said it the first time, yeah, open bar, everybody get a drink, go get it. Then when Shockey said it and they described it, and it's like, it made you hesitate. It's like, everybody probably not gonna want this. Then we get to Whitebeard again, and on the stage it is with everyone watching. The One Piece is real. But you looking at what the hell the Marines are doing to stop people from getting the One Piece. It's like, yeah, you just kind of blew that absurdity up a little bit higher. And of course, the more recent one in Vegapunk saying everyone who the world will be decided by who finds the One Piece. You just took the absurdity to a whole fucking new limit, because that's literally, as it keeps getting mentioned, looks like it gets more and more harder to obtain, and I think that's a big factor.
And we're about to get Kobe's next week. Kobe's dive into the absurd when he unlocks his conquerors.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like it just fits too perfect. There's no way Oda didn't know about this stuff. Like,
which is a very good addition.
Like, okay, there's no way Oda didn't know about that stuff. Like these philosophical concepts. Like, there's no way he didn't know. I refuse to believe it. Like, if I could write in Japanese, I would totally send a SBS question of, are you a fan of Friedrich Nietzsche or Camus? I forget how to say Camus' first name because he's a French Algerian, so it's hard to say. It's like, it's not Albert, it's like the
Albert.
French. Yeah, Albert. It's the French version of Albert.
Bro, complete side note here, but France, y'all naming system is weird.
Yeah, my name's Michael. Your name is Michel.
William, Guillaume.
Man, I slap you if my name's William and you call me Guillaume. We fighting.
Not even Gilliam, Guillaume.
I know. That's what I say. Like, we fight. We slap boxing right there and then if my name's William. Like, I'm be like, like, what do they call Will I Am?
Guillaume.
Yeah, it's probably something stupid. Like, French is stupid.
But
there's a reason y'all give up on everything.
Hey man,
white flag waving pussy. Y'all even gave up on the language that makes sense.
Don't do it.
But
the whole idea is just bleeding. Like, the whole concept is just bleeding in this art. Like, you look at, not only, because now I'm thinking about the whole, now you just bled out the whole interaction with Garp, Sengoku, and Luffy even more to me. Because, like, you see what sides everybody is on in that. When we look at the concepts of the absurd hero, you see Luffy then took the final route on that when he confronts Garp. Garp then took, you wouldn't say, because could you use not even just religion, but like factionists too, kind of?
So,
like in the same breath.
How he frames religion, it feels like you could put the psychological definition of religion, which is, to quote Jordan Peterson, it's the thing that defines your existence the most is your God.
Like, yeah, I look at him like, when I think about religion, like a cage of thinking.
a religious faction, or not but a political faction
would
be
count.
your religion.
Yeah, like the Marines.
Because it could be your guiding principle.
Yeah. Because like, you know, something that you base your thinking around.
Yeah.
You know, a religion would do that. Army of some kind of faction would do that.
Like Kobe would be taking the second route.
The religious,
because he's
higher up.
If you think about it, he's a religious fanatic for the Navy.
Right.
Like, just think about what he did to get where he's at.
Yeah. That's
or
true.
like Ace took the second way out originally, becoming a religious fanatic for Whitebeard's ascension.
But at this point now, he's more on the first.
Like, he was the third, and then he went to the second when he found someone stronger than him. Yeah, and now he's at 1. But eventually, remember, next week he's gonna get back to 3.
Yeah. But just thinking about how in that situation when Luffy first charges in, or that's not.
Well,
I don't think I need to talk.
Well,
about
it's
that
gonna
yet,
skip right after that to Shiryu saving Blackbeard and Co. so they can go get the rest of the people out of Impel Down. And Shiryu's just like, I've been waiting for someone like you to get out of here.
Yeah. Shiryu's interesting too. The way he just got in, like he was kind of the Jinbei equivalent when you look at it for like at that moment what Luffy acquired in Jinbei, Blackbeard acquired in Shiryu. Like just a dude with knowledge of basically the Marines and stuff, because Jinbei was a warlord. He was a prison.
He was the warden before
Magellan. I knew it was something with the prison. I forgot. So you see how Shiryu joins up, and he was a warden before that. So of course he has knowledge of Impel Down. Jinbei was a warlord, so he would know how their movements work in transports for Ace. Because this probably would have been the first time that they've had a prisoner be executed with a threat like Whitebeard. Maybe not as intense, but with a threat to be rated like that.
Since Gold,
yeah. But you see how Shiryu took upon the role. Hey, we got to get these people out, and he just took it on, like with no like real like friction, with no real like what's the word.
Well, he found an escape.
Yeah, he just kind of went, and that's what Jinbei like did. But Jinbei was he was led by wanting to free Ace. He
found the number 2 to take.
Yeah, but I found that parallel to be quite interesting. Like I ain't see that the first time, and now going back and seeing it, like you see just how Oda keeps what Blackbeard gains and what Luffy gains kinda like similar. But they do it differently. And I mean, it's my third watch through now, so I'm starting to see it all.
And then we get to Mihawk versus Luffy, air quotes. And the thing that's interesting, I don't know if it shows it off that well in the anime. I don't remember it showing it off that well. But in the manga, he accidentally uses observation haki.
No, it did.
I just don't remember showing it off that well.
When Mihawk went to go slash him.
Yeah.
And he saw
just
it before
I would have lost
came.
my leg.
Yeah, I was finna lose my leg. Yeah, it was in there.
What's it called? It shows there's like a panel in the manga of him seeing losing his leg.
Yeah.
Like, I think in the anime, he just says, I would have lost my leg if I
they show a little montage.
Oh, it shows it? Okay.
Yeah, like a little montage. It's not thick, but yeah. But then, nope. Would have lost my leg there. Not doing that.
And then he can't touch Mihawk, but he uses Buggy as a human shield because Buggy's immune to Mihawk.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
Which is hella funny.
And then, Boa shows up. Boa saves him. Boa starts attacking everybody. She crumples because Luffy gives her a hug. And she says, is this the thing I've heard about? Is this marriage? Like, what the fuck? She's worse than Sanji, dude.
Oh, 100%.
She's worse than Sanji. Like, wait till she finds out that Sweet Pea and Margaret bathed him. She gonna kill them both.
And she thought she just turned him into stone, but she gonna break him this time.
Yeah, she gonna kill them both. You'll be
she
like,
gonna kill him.
remember they tried to rip off his dick. She gonna kill them both. If she
they
ever
saw
finds
it before
out,
she did.
Yeah,
Oh, they gonna kill them both. Kill
yeah,
them
she
all.
gonna kill them both.
She
like,
gonna murder them all.
Remember, because she's like, Sweet Pea says there's a mushroom we missed and tries to rip it off, but because he's made of rubber, it doesn't work. But like, you know, Hancock finds out about that, she's gonna be kind of mad.
Oh, kinda ain't the word.
We get a nice moment with Garp, where Garp's just like, why couldn't you just live the way I told you to? You would have been a great naval officer. Because, like, he wanted Luffy and Ace to be the best. Like, he wanted them to change the Marines from the inside. Like, he wanted them to continue his legacy and be the greatest Marine officers that ever lived. But you see, he's not going to get that because they wanted to be free. They wanted to face the absurd in their own way. They didn't want to they didn't want to venture into the absurd the way their grandpa wanted them to. Because we see a nice little moment where, so Garp and Goldie Roger aren't friends, but Garp respects him immensely.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Goldie Roger's in prison, he's just like, hey, so I'm gonna have a son. Can you make sure he makes it out? He's like, why should I do that? And he goes, because I know I deserve to die. My wife or my woman might deserve to die because they're not married. But that my child sure doesn't deserve to die. He's completely innocent. And Garf's just like, yeah, damn it.
Yep.
Look
at him playing on your sense of justice.
He's right. And he goes, he finds Ace. What's it called? It's interesting that Goldie Roger knew it was going to be a son, but Ace's mom didn't know it was going to be a son. So I wonder if Goldie Roger's observation hockey was just that good. You know?
I ain't gonna lie, that'd be a sick way to introduce Rogers' observation hockey. Oh, yeah. I knew it was a son. 6 months before he was born.
Because he picked out the names if it was gonna be a boy or a girl.
Mm.
Because Rouge talks about it. She said we picked out a name, and if it's a girl, Ace if it's a boy.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he knew he was gonna have a son makes me think he saw it with observation hockey.
Mm.
Or Oda just fucked up and put the son part.
Up. I mean, nah, Cardinal. I see what you're saying. Never mind.
But no, I'm saying because Ace was born.
Well, think about Kaido. Think about Kaido and how he just automatically assumes. Well, not assumes, but he just calls Yamato his son.
That's different. It's not because...
I know it's not because, but I figured it was more like...
No, it's just he respects his daughter that much that his daughter wants to be like Kazuki Oden.
I don't think he respects that. I think he always wanted a son to begin with, that only someone of his stature could have a son. Because one thing I noticed when watching it with Jenna... Is Yamato biologically? Girl.
No. I mean biologically his child.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't said it wasn't.
You know the big theory is that Katakuri, Prospero, and Cracker are Kaido's kids.
No.
It's because of Kaido had the horns before he was a dragon.
Because he's an ogre.
I get that, but I'm saying it like people saying it works because of Karakuri's smile, he's ogre-like and stuff like that.
Kaido doesn't have the similar smile.
I know. That's just a theory.
But there's no similarities, though. Even for Pedro's Pedro, I think the similarity
people are saying it because People are saying it because of how much stronger they are than the other children.
They're the first.
I know it's just a theory,
Like,
but I'm wondering who would be Yamato's mom.
No, like if Paris Pet or Katakuri were further down the line, it wouldn't make any sense. But the fact that they're like,
but the thing is,
the beginning,
I believe the first three have the same father, if I remember correctly.
Streusen is Pedo's dad.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure the first three or it might be Cracker and Katakuri. Katakuri, somebody has the same dad as Katakuri besides Katakuri. I don't remember who it is, but someone has the same dad as him.
I couldn't tell you, but
because he has a full sibling, not just a bunch of half siblings. I think it's Cracker.
I forgot where we were going with this. Where we started. I forgot where we started.
We were talking about Yamato.
No,
I'm just curious if they're biological.
No, because she had the reason why the whole thing with Kaido and Yamato was that he called her a wretch at one point when he was mad at her. So that just let me know that he keeps calling her son when he is okay with her, and then when he's mad he calls her something like a wretch. It's probably the equivalent.
But
of
you
bitch.
can what's it called? A guy can be a wretch.
Yeah, it can. But commonly I only see it thrown towards women. But
normally it's seen as like a insult to women.
But
like something to call a woman. But I'm just curious if it's because if it's biologically, then it makes no sense to call him saying like calling him a he
just
thing.
The way I think Kaido is. That dude's just a freaking tyrant all around. Like,
yeah, he's not a good dude.
Yeah, you would.
I love that he loses a fight to Shanks.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. We gonna
Yeah, next week he loses a fight to Shanks.
Because it's just, I'm ready. Because one thing I've seen that Oda does do all the people whose backstories that people would say we should have got a long time ago, like Dragon and. You know, some people, when Kuma's backstory came out, said it should have got it a while ago. But every backstory that takes longer to come out is just so much more intense and detailed. Like, bro, when we get Shanks' backstory, when we find out...
Or the rest of his backstory.
The rest of his backstory, or even his interim story of what he was doing the whole time Luffy was doing all this, it's going to be freaking amazing. I feel it.
Here's the big thing about that, in my opinion. It's the reason it's excusable that it goes so long is because the backstories have to happen to be good. As soon as he gives us a backstory that's not worth the wait or worth the amount of simmering it did, then people are going to be mad. Yeah, we haven't in a long time. Like, since I started watching it. Because, like, there's the Sabo one that was pretty good.
Sabo's was the start.
It's like the first one of them. Well, no, actually, the Three Brothers is the first one we get. Thinking about it, like the first backstory, we had to wait forever.
Yeah.
We had to wait. We had to wait 8 years of extra. No.
At the end of,
it took 12 years to get the brothers growing up, because it started in 1999, and I know it was on television in 2012 or 2013.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But back to what we got at hand. We'll be on the brothers in 2 weeks. The Goa Kingdom arc.
Mm-hmm.
That's only 2 weeks away. So we get back to Squad stabbing him, and we learn all this stuff about Akainu poisoning members of Whitebeard's armada or his fleet. And in doing so, Whitebeard immediately says, "I forgive you, my son. You were tricked. Just help me fight through this." Like, he got stabbed wholesale, like, above the final, like, at the top of the final ab in his six-pack. So... that's gotta be close to the diaphragm, and it goes all the way through. And Squad's sword is big. Squad's sword is pretty close to the size of him. It's pretty big. And he's just like, I got stabbed. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna stop me. I forgive you, my son. And Marco's just like, you freaking idiot. You shouldn't have listened. You should have known that father wouldn't do us like that.
And that was a crazy development, because it go back to knowing the faction you're a part of, because for them to literally interject that, but it makes sense when they were what got revealed in that time to make them, but at the same time, he had been around Whitebeard longer enough to know that he wouldn't forsake him. He should have known that he wouldn't forsake him.
Also,
like
another
that.
thing is, what was great is when Whitebeard jumps forward to keep going.
Yeah.
Squad's hating on himself. He's like, I can't believe I listened to them. Why'd I betray father?
Oh, no, he definitely goes
and
through.
he's beating himself up about it.
Yeah, he definitely
and Marco
goes through
goes,
emotion.
are you just going to sit there? Or are you going to do something about it? And he's just like, go make it up to him. Like, you fucked up. Go make it up. Go make it up. Go.
Don't get.
Like, get in there.
Get.
And then the walls, they activate the walls. They summon the other pacifistas, like the other 20 of them.
Yep. This is where you start seeing just how crazy stuff getting.
And then Whitebeard does I don't even know what it is, but he like grabs the fabric of reality. Like he grabs the air like it's a curtain and pulls down, and it destroys the entirety of Marineford. And it like makes like a gyroscope out of the ocean around it. Like you see like part of the ocean's tilted up while the other's tilted down, and it's happened to everything, which is what makes me think his fruit is awakened.
Just that scale.
Just, it's not even the scale. It's just, that's not a quake at that point.
No,
that's
at that point.
That's something else. That looks like what, like, something beyond a quake would be. And, like, beyond a quake would be a awakening, in my opinion. But I could be, it just looks like an awakened power. But he does that. It's so weird. He warps reality when he does that, because he like separates stuff out. Little Oars wakes up. He remembers what happened with Ace, and he reaches for Ace again. He gets knocked down. Sakazuki uses his meteor volcano, sinks the Moby Dick, kills a bunch of pirates because it boils the water with the lava. Aokiji gets knocked out by Marco.
Yeah, because he tried to come at Luffy. He
stabs Luffy in the shoulder. He's just like, he stops a moment before going in for the kill, because he's just like, oh, your grandfather life debt, but I can't let you live. Marco comes flying in off the Moby Dick and side kicks him in the side, and it sends Aokiji flying. Like, he goes, phew.
That's a feat.
And then, what's it called? They're just like, it's time to kill him. And the executioners swing the axes.
Yep.
And you hear Luffy go, Ace! And then, right before it touches them, you just see blood squirt up, and you're just like, is Ace dead? Nope. Crocodile killed the two executioners using a spada. Yeah. It's called like X spada or something like that. I forgot. Whenever he turns the sand, like his arm, into a sword, it's called like X spada or something, or spada scimitar. I can't remember exactly what he calls it. Scimitar is when it's like this, when he makes like a blade like that with it and like that.
Scimitar.
But the spada is like the upwards one. So he kills the two guys and buys them a little time. With the walls coming up, it looks like they're screwed. But Whitebeard secretly had something up his sleeve the entire time, which is impressive because he doesn't wear a shirt. Man, that was a good joke. Fuck y'all. But he still has something hidden up his sleeves, and that was there was a fish ship hidden under the water the entire time.
Mm.
And so it comes up, catches all the pirates in the water. They jump off right in front of it, all the division leaders and Whitebeard. And I forgot, what is it that they say at the end of it? There's a hard line that Whitebeard says at the end of the episode / chapter. Oh my god, sometimes I hate everything. Like, my computer just decided to say something real stupid. It wouldn't let me do what I was trying to do. What is the hard thing that he says? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Oars grabs the ship with his last breath and pulls it onto the shore way past the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
he look fucking great.
Yeah, dude, the color panels look so good. Whitebeard uses like his ultimate attack, is what I assume it is. He imbues the trimmer fruit with his blade, with his glaive, and then slices, and it like destroys like everything behind the executioner platform. Like you'll see, like it's all, and then what he says to end the chapter and the manga and the episode is, "All right, men, we're gonna save Ace and destroy the Navy." And you get this really cool shot with like all of his men behind him ready to go. And he's got a hole in his freaking chest.
Yep.
And he's just like, "We about to do damage."
He did also, real good with this like wounded warrior aspect in
Whitebeard.
Another thing
that I noticed, I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but his scars, let's see if I can find a good picture of it. His scars.
You talking about Whitebeard?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't get it in that last panel.
No, it's not a good picture of it. I might not find a good picture besides that one. Yeah, there's not going to be a good picture. But it looks similar. It's not exactly the same, but it looks like, you see the scars similar to the kanji for Dawn.
I mean, that's a reach. I don't see it.
No, it's the...
I see which one you're talking about,
but... Doom, and then the crate, and then there's more this way. It's a bad picture of it, but I'm not saying that it's Dawn specifically. I wonder if it's kanji for something else, because it looks like something else.
Yeah, but we can,
I don't know, but yeah, that's literally right where it ends this past week. So next week we're gonna be finishing up Marineford. And I think the start of Goa Kingdom.
No, I think it's the finish Marineford.
Oh, it's just finishing Marineford?
Well, technically Goa Kingdom is
part. It's part of Marineford, but
you
know what I mean.
We won't get through all of that. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like the first episode of Goa Kingdom starts next week. But yeah, guys, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. Yeah. Comment, let us know. We need input. We need to know.
Yeah, if y'all got any challenges to what we're saying, or any ideas that we should look at further, or any things we can do to improve the podcast, like, do y'all want a camera? We're gonna improve the mics and stuff, but like, if there's anything that y'all can think of that'll make the viewing experience better, let us know down below. And yeah, I think that's it for this week. So I've been Corrupted.
Check on.
And